I believe we are live. Just doing some final checks here to make sure everything is working as it should. And we will momentarily get ready for action here between Brazil and Japan. We are all ready to go. So, welcome into the broadcast, the live stream, our live commentary of this FIFA World Cup round of 32 match. Brazil today take on Japan at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It is not the opening match, but the second match of the 2026 round of 32 in the FIFA World Cup. And we are getting set for action here, just moments away. Glad to have you with us this afternoon. Just going through pre-game at the moment. I'm in the United States, so I am watching the Fox coverage. This is a live commentary watch-along stream, so I'm going to be providing commentary, but also, sort of, you know, whether or not you have this on, you can still enjoy this stream. So, and we hope you do enjoy this stream. You can send super chats by scanning that QR code. They would be much appreciated. But we are getting set to begin here between Brazil and Japan. Fox currently on a commercial break as we wait for the action to start here. Brazil versus Japan. So we're going to put up a poll because we want to find out who you guys think will win here today. And this time there is, because we did Canada, Switzerland, and that was the group stage. So there is a third option in the poll for draw. That, of course, does not apply here today. And instead, we could be here for 120 minutes. We could be here for more than 120 minutes. No matter what, we are going to have a result here today in Houston as we bring you our live coverage of the FIFA World Cup. And how about that opening match of the round of 32 yesterday? Canada taking on South Africa in LA, and that last-minute goal putting Canada over the line into the round of 16, the most successful World Cup that the Canadian team has ever had. History is being made in this FIFA World Cup. For example, it's been the most successful World Cup for African teams. Well, depends on your measure of success. Morocco was the first African team to get to the semifinals in 2022. You could consider that to be the most successful. But what I'm talking about, 9 of the 10 African sides in this World Cup have advanced out of the group stage. That is the highest knockout advancement rate of any confederation in this World Cup, any of the 6 confederations. The sixth, of course, being OFC, but New Zealand, I believe, have already been eliminated from this World Cup. Finished Group G in 4th. So Fox is coming back on the air. Again, we are broadcasting from the Ultrasport World headquarters near Orlando, Florida. We got about 10 minutes to go before the action gets underway here at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. I'm going to keep calling it NRG Stadium. I'm an American. We have the NFL. We have the Houston Texans. And, there has been a lot of controversy in America, even though this is what FIFA always does, over the fact that they've been, making the sponsored stadiums cover up all that sponsorship logo stuff. Although Gillette Stadium had something very, very delightful, where it was Gillette, of course, is a shaving company. They make razors and stuff. So what they did was cover up the logo with, it was made to look like shaving cream. So that was good. But they're bringing out the flags on the field here, which means we are almost ready to begin here in Houston. Again, Brazil versus Japan in this round of 32 clash in the FIFA World Cup. Glad to have you with us. If you're enjoying what what you're listening to so far, we encourage you to leave a like, subscribe to this channel. We've got a lot of good action here, and maybe consider sending a super chat. Your message would be displayed on screen. That is, if my system is working. I have no reason to believe that it's not, other than it didn't work yesterday or sometime this weekend. But I believe we've just seen Carlo Ancelotti make his way out of the tunnel. Um, Brazil will be hoping to follow the leadership of that successful manager to a sixth star, a sixth World Cup triumph, as the teams are now coming out of the tunnel. Brazil versus Japan, both sides in training jackets, although I imagine it can't be that cold in the middle of Texas. Packed stadium here on a Monday afternoon in Houston. Not something you see every day, but this is the World Cup. It brings people from all around the world, and those that have come from all around the world don't really seem to have, they would be on vacation for this. Work is of no concern when you have traveled for the World Cup. We are going, we are seeing the teams come out onto the field now, walking behind each flag. I really like that. That's a nice touch that they've added for this World Cup. They've, of course, overhauled the pre-match presentation for this World Cup, and we're gonna get to the action in a matter of moments here. Brazil versus Japan from Houston in the round of 32. I am going to go silent out of respect for the national anthems in a matter of moments. So and I can't play any of the audio because of copyright issues. So don't mind the couple of minutes of dead air we're about to have here imminently. It's just a pause for the national anthems of Brazil and Japan. Glad to have you in on the stream as we pause now for those national anthems. They used to cut off the Brazilian anthem. I guess FIFA changed that policy. Good on them. A patriotic rendition of the national anthem of Brazil, followed now by the substantially calmer Japanese national anthem, Kimigayo. And there's a lot of noticeable yellow in the stands here, but because of the Brazilian jerseys, but there have to be quite a few Japan supporters as well, because the crowd was most certainly singing along as the Japanese national anthem rung out through NRG Stadium. So, we are about 3 minutes away from kickoff here in the 2026 round of 32 of the FIFA World Cup. Again, Brazil versus Japan here from Houston. So glad that you have joined us for today's stream. Brazil finished top of Group C with 7 points. They opened the tournament with a 1-1 draw against Morocco, and then a 3-0 win over Haiti, followed by a 3-0 win over Scotland. 7 points, propelling them into the advantageous position here in this class. Japan finished second in Group F. They had 5 points, and over the course of that group stage, they opened things up with a draw 2-2 against the Netherlands, and then a 4-0 beatdown, so to speak, of Tunisia, followed by a 1-1 draw with Sweden to keep themselves above the water and to move through to this knockout stage. But they've got a tough opponent. They've got a tough opponent indeed. Brazil certainly is more of a footballing nation. That much should be clear as these two teams line up for photographs. Japan, of course, more of a baseball country, but still hoping to overcome Brazil for what would be a massive, massive upset. As we see a look now at the Brazilian lineup here, it is a 4-1-2-3. Marquinhos today out on the field as captain. Again, Carlo Ancelotti, who has led Real Madrid in the past to a lot of success, hoping to bring Brazil a sixth star in the very first 48-team World Cup. Brazil line up in a 4-1-2-3. Now look at Japan. They'll be in a 3-4-3. Zion Suzuki is in goal. Hiroki Ito with Taniguchi and Tomiyasu at the back. Nakamura, Kamada, Sano, and Ritsudoan, the captain, in the middle. And up front, it is Maeda, Ueda, and Junya Ito. So, with that, we are about ready. We're almost ready. It is 1 p.m., or 12 if you're in Houston, 1 p.m. Eastern, here from the Ultrasport headquarters in Orlando. We see a aerial shot momentarily of NRG Stadium in front of the old Astrodome, which, if those moves had not happened, perhaps would be hosting this game today if the new stadium had not been built. But we are almost ready. Brazil in yellow and blue, Japan in white with those skinny rainbow stripes as we get ready. Five, four, three, two, one. Away we go. Underway between Brazil and Japan in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Round of 32 action has begun here in Houston, and we are very, very glad to have you with us here today to bring you our live coverage of this World Cup. Brazil starting out with the ball here. They have the right to kick things off. And away we go. Cleared away here by the keeper. Now a bit physical here as now getting into it with Tomiyasu. Free kick coming up as we see the first foul of the game. I believe it's a free kick. Paqueta taking a moment to get up here as we will see a replay here. Paqueta and Tomiyasu got a bit physical and looked like Paqueta kind of just fell down there on his backside. Danilo. And now looking for this first shot of the game. It's just going to be missed. But Guimaraes hyping up the crowd here. Trying to get the energy going as we begin in the early going here between Brazil and Japan. And right by the Japanese goal, there is this cluster of blue-colored supporters bordered on each side by all yellow. That's got to be an interesting position to be in. I think it's a pretty even breakdown. Maybe the yellow is just more noticeable against the colors of the stadium as we see this corner kick successfully stopped, but this is going to go out above the Japanese bench, now leading to a Brazilian throw-in. Again, Carlo Ancelotti, the head coach here for Brazil, one of the most successful managers of all time. 5 Champions League titles under his belt. The only manager to have done that, and the only manager to have been in 6 Champions League finals. He has been knighted twice by the Italian Republic. So Brazil have a good leader behind them, or in front of them, I suppose, as they look to take home a 6th World Cup star and make more history. They would be the first team to have done that. Winner of this match will go on to face either Ivory Coast or Norway in the round of 16, which, with no disrespect to either of those sides, it seems that if Brazil win today, they'll have a rather easy path into the quarterfinals. As Japan now hold the ball in their own end. Polymarket saying that there's a 55% chance at the moment that Brazil wins. However, I must take issue because one of the options on the site is draw, and since this is a round of 32 match, obviously it says draw, 28% chance. Well, that's not going to happen unless you're betting on the chance that this goes to extra time, which that could be what they mean. But the real reason I went on to Polymarket is to look at their prediction as to who is going to win this World Cup. Brazil is currently ranked 5th, behind England in 4th, Spain in 3rd, Argentina in 2nd, France in 1st. France is a 24% chance, Argentina 21%, Spain at 11%, England at 10%, Brazil at 6%, and behind Brazil, also at 6%, are Portugal. Japan at 1%, behind the Netherlands, Germany, Colombia, the United States, Norway, Morocco, and Belgium. So that would be, I think, 11th most likely to win this World Cup, which isn't, the worst position, but it really does set in that one of these nations has to go home, right? There are entire countries that today they've all sat down to watch a football match, and they are doing so going into it with the knowledge that for one of those countries there's not going to be any more football after today, right? And we could go to extra time, we could go to penalties. Canada and South Africa almost did it, But we're still very early into this match, so it's unheard of to even be talking about such a thing. Although when we ran our Canada and South Africa did it when we ran our EAFs. Canada and South Africa didn't do it. They did in our EAFC 26 simulation when we ran that a couple of days ago. As for Brazil versus Japan, our prediction there. Again, this is a simulation in a video game with commentary, of course, by yours truly. Brazil defeated Japan 1-0 in our simulated outcome. Is that, does that point to what we could see today? Perhaps it does, as we now see a Brazilian free kick. Away towards the goal. Suzuki, almost didn't follow through there. Almost dropped the catch. He manages to recover. Excuse me. As he almost went down there, juggling the ball. Very, very dangerous situation there, because he had a couple of players right by him. Players on the opposing side. We get a glimpse at Neymar, who is playing in yet another World Cup, and as he appears, presumably on the screens around the stadium, there's this roar coming up from the crowd. Neymar played against Scotland, created 3 chances in just 14 minutes. One of the greatest players of all time, but Brazil have been using him sparingly, and they are right to do so, I would say. You don't want to. The secret weapon is secret for a reason. You don't want to, although Neymar's not so secret, you don't want to use up your most valuable resource when something else will do. And Brazil have Vini Jr. On their team, who is currently on the field, as well as a whole host of other skilled players. It really is a footballing nation, and Fox was doing a feature on that culture about 20 minutes before kickoff here. Little video package. Brazil steadily trying to advance here towards the Japanese goal. Back towards Casemiro. Now to Marquinhos. Brazil have been dominating the possession in these first 9 minutes of action. Into the air there. Ooh. Right onto his chest. Trying to think through things, I think, as Danilo has it here. Japan certainly cannot be underestimated. Oh, now a chance perhaps. Oh, nope, still in, headed away. Oh. I believe in a counterintuitive move, that one went right into the face of Paqueta. As we approach 10 minutes here, Marquinhos now scooped up by Suzuki, as Vini Jr. was looking threatening there. Japan now deep in their own end, trying to figure out something here. Start this new offensive drive. Nakamura to Kamada. Ito. Sano. Japan have never won a knockout round game in history at the World Cup. Now looking to go into the lead, Nakamura got it into the box. It was cleared away. Brazil trying to re-establish possession here. Header by Taniguchi. Oh. Man down, and it is Vinicius Jr. Sano. We're going to take a look at this again. Oh. Just looking at the pain on the face of Vinny Jr. as, I don't know, maybe got struck by running into Sano there. And it is the yellow card for Kaishu Sano. Yellow card. Brazil with the ball again. Kind of in the center of the pitch here. 0-0. 12 minutes into the action here. Vinicius had it for a moment, but now Japan take back the ball. Courtesy of, I believe, Doan. Taniguchi going back and forth with Suzuki here. Now it's cleared away into the opposite end of the pitch. Outnumbered by Brazilians there. South American nation with the ball again. And now a chance perhaps. Oh. Just goes off to the left there. Suzuki dives, gets a hand on it, gets a bit of a deflection as Cunha takes the shot. Now, oh. Paquetá had a chance there. And we've got our first vote on this poll. One vote says Brazil. Brazilian side again. Certainly favorites here. I would venture to say that if Japan win here today, it might be the biggest upset in this World Cup so far. Oh, nasty slide from behind, and we're going to see another yellow card. It is on Casemiro, as Ito was affected there. Went down after an illegal slide tackle from behind. So we're not even 15 minutes in, and we've already got 2 yellow cards. Sano was the first to get one for Japan, and now Casemiro for Brazil. And now Japan will have a free kick. Alisson shouting out orders as the wall and the rest of the defense here will form up. Coming up to 15 minutes gone between Brazil and Japan. Quite a wall this will be. And Alisson will be hoping that it will be sufficient to stop whatever is coming up here. Doan. Nope. Kamada took the shot. Wall sends it out, and we see Gianni Infantino, who has made headlines for appearing at match after match after match. He's sitting with quite a few Brazilian legends. Infantino, just omnipresent almost. Ito setting up this corner kick for Japan. In towards the box, and that's going to be cleared out. Japanese side gets it right back. Ito now to Nakamura. Out it goes. Back underway. Allison. And again, the winner of this goes on to face either the Ivory Coast or Norway in the round of 16 here. And as I was saying, that it seems like a pretty easy path if Brazil are to win today. It seems like a pretty easy path into the quarterfinals for them. Although Holland is not to be underestimated. Throw in coming up here for Japan. 17 minutes in, still scoreless between Brazil and Japan in this World Cup round of 32 match. Glad to have you with us for our coverage as this action unfolds from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. And if you're enjoying what you're listening to so far, we encourage you to send a super chat, make your voice heard, leave a like, and subscribe to this channel for more live commentary. And we're going to be simulating the entire knockout stage of the World Cup. We've already begun through EAFC 26. We'll see how many of those predictions we get right, but that is what we will be doing. And as well as there's going to be quite a few more of these World Cup live streams, live commentary. So if you're enjoying the stream, we encourage you to follow this channel. Brazil in the middle of the pitch here. Pressure applied from the Japanese, trying to keep their opponents out of their end. Seems to be working here, so far at least. Ueda has gone to the other side, but now Brazil has found an opening. Boxed in. Down he goes. Vinny Jr. sent to the ground again. Danilo. Marquinhos back to Danilo. Almost ran into a challenge there, and out it will go. Throw in for Japan here as Konya gets into it. Oh. Send over. Oh, that's going to be picked up. And now Vinny Jr. trying to set up a chance. Vinny Jr. with a cross. It's headed away by Taniguchi. And now cleared by Tomiyasu. 20 minutes gone here between Brazil and Japan in the round of 32 of the FIFA World Cup. And it is 0-0 so far as we come to you, from the Ultrasport World headquarters in Orlando, Florida, but this match unfolds from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Texans of the National Football League, as Brazil currently hold the ball, hoping to find an opening and break open this deadlock. And again, extra time, we could be here for 120 minutes. We could be here for 90. We could see penalties. But 0-0 in the first half, 20 minutes in. I think it's probably way too early to talk of such things. Casemiro currently with the ball. Sends it over to Magalhães. Guimarães. Oh, that's gone over the head of Danilo. Throw in now for Japan. As we get a glimpse of Carlo Ancelotti, one of the most successful football managers of all time, hoping to lead Brazil to a 6th star in this FIFA World Cup. Brazil have won the most World Cups out of any nation, but they have not won one since 2002, which, interestingly enough, came in Japan. Korea, Japan hosting that World Cup. Now thrown in. Paqueta. Cunha towards the box. Oh, he's going to go down. Cunha goes down, rolls out, and pleading here, signaling for some action to be taken as we get a replay of this. Got into it with Sano, and Sano has already received a yellow card today. So Japan could very soon see themselves playing with 10 men, but we're going to go now, and time goes fast. We're at the first hydration break in this round of 32 match. So 0-0 between Brazil and Japan as we come to the first hydration break in this 2026 in this match. What am I saying? But yes, 0-0, 22 minutes in. First hydration break of the match has begun, and we hope you've enjoyed our coverage so far of this game. If you have, we encourage you to subscribe to this channel, send a super chat, and tell us what you think of this encounter so far between Brazil and Japan. We've also got more action coming up today in the World Cup. Not that we'll be doing live commentary of. This is our only game that we'll be covering today. But Germany take on Paraguay at 4:30 p.m. Eastern if you're in the United States, and then tonight the Netherlands battle Morocco at 9 p.m. Eastern. Round of 32 action continuing. Cote d'Ivoire tomorrow battle Norway as France take on Sweden, and Mexico take on Ecuador. Then on Wednesday, England take on the DR Congo team, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Belgium against Senegal, and the United States. That'll be one that a lot of people are watching. They take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. Excuse me. But just waiting now for the broadcast to come back on the air with this hydration break, which has been criticized widely as an ad break. Gianni Infantino is a very corporate fellow, I'll say that. We're back on the air now, coming up to minute 25. I'm getting a look at some of these fans that have packed the home of the Texans, NRG Stadium. Opened, I believe, in 2002, hosted Super Bowl 51 in 2017, but this by far is the biggest event they have ever had here. FIFA World Cup action. Waiting to come back here. Fans are certainly getting into it. We are about to get back underway. 26 minutes gone. 0-0 between Brazil and Japan as we come to the restart here between these two sides. Again, Brazil in yellow and blue. Japan were in white and black. And hoping to create a chance here in this first half. The Japanese side. Nice block there. But that will lead to a Japanese corner. Japan have reached the knockout stage of the World Cup 5 times in their history. They have never won in the knockout stages. They have always been eliminated first go. And I am afraid to say that it may be the same today. If they're able to defeat Brazil, it will be one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, I would say. Oh, that's gone over the crossbar. And Allison now, I believe, will get us back underway. And he already has. Brazil controlling the ball deep in their own end as we get underway again. Cleared away by Allison. Now Japan getting possession back thanks to Taniguchi. Goes right back to Allison. He scoops it up. Just rolls it towards Marquinhos. In the last 5 matchups between Brazil and Japan, and this goes back all the way to 2013, Brazil have won 4 of those 5 matches. The last time these two sides met was October 14th of last year, an international friendly match. Japan won 3-2. Brazil's last time winning against Japan was June 6th, 2022. 1-0. So 4 years it has been since the Brazilians have won against Japan. But I want to point out that that friendly... Oh my! Would you believe this? Would you believe this? Japan have gone into the lead. Japan have gone into the lead. Absolutely incredible. Wow. 1-0 Japan. Ancelotti on the sidelines looking on. It is Sano, Kaishu Sano, who had a yellow card earlier. Now, you can say, perhaps, redeems himself, scores the opening goal of this match. And Japan are out 1-0 against Brazil. Absolutely unbelievable. No one expected this. No one expected this. I didn't expect this. And now I feel like I've been unfair to the Japanese side. We come to 30 minutes in this match. Japan 1, Brazil 0. Again, as I said, this is going to go down in history if Japan win, right? Because we got 60 minutes of football to play at a minimum. But if Japan win here today, this will go down as one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Cup, maybe one of the biggest upsets in the history of football. Brazil have Carlo Ancelotti as a manager. They have Vini Jr. and they have Neymar, who they've been using sparingly, but, you know, he might have to come out today if they're in dire straits towards the end of this match. And even with all that, Japan could, and in theory, Japan could be on the verge of a massive upset. They got to hold on for 60 more minutes. They'll certainly want to get an insurance goal here against Brazil. But you never know. Anything can happen in the World Cup, or so it seems. And everyone thought it would be Brazil, and it may very well not be. 1-0, Japan over Brazil. As we get closer to halftime, we're 31 minutes into this World Cup. Again, the winner of this match will go on to play either the Ivory Coast or Norway in the round of 16. And if Japan move through, that could be an interesting matchup. And Norway, Norway or Japan in the quarterfinals. That Norway, Japan, or the Ivory Coast in the quarterfinals. That could be, as I said earlier, it's been the most successful World Cup ever for African sides. If your measure of success is how many get through to the knockout stages, 9 out of 10 of the African teams have made it through, and that's a better success rate than any confederation competing in this World Cup. Free kick coming up for Brazil, by the way, as I maybe got a bit too swept up in analysis there. It will be Paqueta. No, not Paqueta. Yes, Paqueta. Faked me out, too. As out this goes. But, as I was saying, right? Japan are up 1-0, and this has rocked the foundations of this World Cup, right? Norway favored to defeat Cote d'Ivoire. They have Holland, and they could go up against Japan. So if Japan move through here today, we're going to see one team that nobody expected. Oh, nice shot here, but it's swept up by Suzuki, scooped up by Suzuki. If Japan go through today, we are going to see a side in the quarterfinals that nobody expected to see in the quarterfinals, because Brazil are giants, right? This is, to an extent, a bit of a David versus Goliath matchup. I talked earlier about how Japan isn't that much of a footballing nation, right? They're more known for baseball, Shohei Ohtani, and the NPB, and all of that. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. And it's happening here. And they've got to hold on. Oh, bit of a collision there. Down went Paqueta. They've got to hold on for 55, I think. 55 more minutes to have the most successful World Cup. Japan have never won a knockout stage match. And Brazil looking to keep it that way. Vini Jr. in the box. Now blocked. And now trying to get it away. Vini Jr. again has 2 men on him. Cleared away. Not cleared away, but gotten away from a dangerous point on the field. Out it will go. About 10 minutes to go, give or take. Of course, there's always stoppage time before the half. It is 1-0 in favor of Japan over Brazil. Sano putting Japan into the lead. Kaishu Sano, midfielder for Mainz in the Bundesliga. But with that said, Japan are not out of the woods yet. Brazil, as we speak, looking to tie things up. Vini Jr. looking threatening in the box. I believe that's Cunha now. He sends it to Casemiro, who earlier today received a yellow card. Headed away, headed out. And now Japan breaking away. They've gotten it out of their end. I talked earlier about how there are two nations sitting down to watch a football match today, and they're going into it with the knowledge that one of those nations is not going to have any more football to watch, not with their own team at least, when this is said and done. And I think a lot of people expected that nation to be Japan. I certainly did. But this one goal has shaken things. Brazil, again, are giants. To take Brazil out of the World Cup opens so many different pathways here. Norway take on Cote d'Ivoire. The winner of that will go into the round of 16 to face the winner of this match, who at the moment, if this ended now, would be Japan. Brazil have gone to they just showed this statistic. In the last 8 World Cups, Brazil have gone to the quarterfinals. The last 8. Japan could be the side that sends them out before the quarterfinals for the first time since 1990. Italy, 1990, and during that competition, they were eliminated by Argentina. Again, another big footballing nation. Where did they go before that? Quarterfinals. 1982, they didn't make it past the second group stage. Interesting format there. Brazil finished second. Oh, good save there by Suzuki. Brazil finished second in Group C of the second group stage of the 1982 FIFA World Cup. Second behind Italy. Their worst performance was 1966. 1966 and 1930, but we're going to consider 1966 to be the worst one because 1930 was the first one. They were just setting things up, right? They finished third in Group 3. They didn't have letters, they had numbers. Group 3 behind Portugal and Hungary. My point with all of this, right? Japan knocking out Brazil. This is going to go down if the result holds, right? If they keep going, if they hold on for these next, I believe it's 50 minutes now if you round, if you cut things down. If they survive for the next 50 minutes, Japan will have pulled off one of the biggest upsets in football history. And I imagine there's going to be quite a bit of panic in the locker room when halftime comes. Throw-in coming up here for Japan. And we will take a short coverage break at halftime, couple of minutes, and then I will come back to continue talking about this match. What a match this has been. 1-0 for Japan over Brazil. Coming up to 40 minutes here. Brazil, again, have won the World Cup 5 times. The last time the World Cup was in the United States, they won. They beat Italy in the final there. They were runners-up against France in '98. And in 2014, when they hosted, they came in 4th as they lost the bronze medal match as well. If we're being honest, right, this is going to be a humiliation for Brazil again if they can't recover this. If Japan go through, this will be a considerable humiliation. And the last time Brazil were humiliated was 7-1. 7-1. Everyone knows what that means. The infamous semifinal against Germany. But that was Germany. This is Japan, a nation that has not historically been known as a footballing nation. And Japan now, if they hold on, if the result holds, right, I might be getting a bit ahead of myself in all the excitement of this whole underdog taking the lead thing. I know I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but if the result holds, then we're going to see a nation in the quarterfinals that we did not expect to see in the quarterfinals because we expected that they would be eliminated by Brazil. Could be Norway, could be the Ivory Coast, and it could be Japan. I'd say it's most likely Norway because they have Erling Haaland, and that would be something as well. Because if we take a look at Norway here, the last time they went to the World Cup was 1998, and they were eliminated in the round of 16. 94, they were out in the group stage, and the only other time that they qualified for the World Cup before then was 1938. This is the fourth World Cup that Norway have competed at. And it's the strongest, arguably, that Norway have ever been. But many thought that they were not strong enough to overcome Brazil. If Brazil wins today, Norway could nonetheless maybe take inspiration from Japan. Nobody expected Japan to take the early lead here today. And they might extend that lead. They're moving deep into the box. It's headed away there successfully. Excuse me. But still moving his Ito. Headed away again, and this will be a throw-in. Excuse me again. Doan will send the ball back in. Now moving up. Oh! Down goes Sano. Kaishu Sano has had quite a day today. Kamada. Excuse me. Taniguchi with the ball at the moment. Sano. Intercepted there. But taken right back. Ito. First time that Brazil have been trailing in a World Cup knockout game. This stat has just come over. To a side that was not European or South American. This has been a historic World Cup. A very, very historic World Cup. Trying to get into the box here. Oh. Yellow card shown now to Kamada. As down went Guimaraes. Coming up on 45 minutes here. First half almost over between Brazil and Japan in this FIFA World Cup. Excuse me. 4 minutes added on. 4 minutes of stoppage time here. Into the air towards the box, and now it will be a... Oh, hold on. Absolutely unbelievable scoreline here. And this second half is going to be interesting. We'll see how things play out. Oh, got a bit rough there. Japan now looking to get that insurance goal. Kamada. Now to Ito. Nakamura. Excuse me. Out it goes. And maybe, I think we might have had a bit of a connection problem there. If we did, I apologize. Throw in. Oh, right up into the air. Absolutely amazing what we are seeing here today. Halftime coming up here. And it is 1-0 for Japan over Brazil. Again, we will go to a bit of a break once halftime hits, play a little bit of music, and then I will return, break things down, talk about maybe some other things that are going on in the world of sport, and we will get ready for this second half as we see something absolutely and utterly unprecedented in the history of the World Cup, in the history of football. This will go down, if it holds, as one of the biggest upsets in football history. And as we approach the half, one can only wonder what kind of talk Carlo Ancelotti, in his waistcoat and all, will be giving these Brazil players. They hired him to bring them a 6th World Cup, and now he may not even bring them to the round of 16. Will we see Neymar coming in today? I think that he might be pulled out as a necessity, but you can't bring him out, you gotta find the sweet spot. Don't want to bring him out too early or too late. Well, maybe early is good. Gives him more time. Bit physical there. Tried to hold back Ueda, it seemed. Did Marquinhos. And now we get to the half. Japan 1, Brazil 0. I don't think anyone expected that to be the scoreline at halftime. But as we see a section of Japanese fans, the energy is high as we go to a bit of a break here. We will return momentarily. Glad to have you with us here on Ultrasport for our World Cup coverage. We're going to play a bit of music, and then we will return for continued analysis and discussion of this unprecedented match. See you momentarily. And we are back. It is halftime between Brazil and Japan in what has been an amazing match that I don't think anyone saw turning out the way that it has so far. At the moment, the scoreline reads 1-0 for Japan against Brazil. If this continues, if this holds, this is going to go down as one of the biggest upsets in the history of football. People are going to be talking this, especially people in Japan. People are going to be talking about this for decades. The Japanese have to hold on for 45 more minutes, and then they will have successfully pulled off something utterly unimaginable in football. We're going to take a look at the rest of the match slate for today, as well as some of the other events coming up in the round of 16. Germany are set to battle Paraguay in the second match of the day. Then it is going to be the Netherlands taking on Morocco. There's a lot of excitement for that Netherlands-Morocco match, and Morocco, of course, got to the semifinals of the World Cup last year. Nobody expected last year. What am I saying? In Qatar 4 years ago. Nobody expected them to go that far, but they may very well be eliminated in short order by the Netherlands. Only time will tell as we wait for the action to come back here between Brazil and Japan. Germany battle Paraguay. Germany heavily favored to win here today and to win within 90 minutes. And Japan, meanwhile, I can only imagine what kind of talk both sides really are getting in the locker room. This is not the expectation that Brazil had coming into this World Cup. They've been to the quarterfinals of the last 8 World Cups, and of course they're always expecting to always do well. Japan today have other plans, and it looks like it might be an early exit, earlier than expected, way earlier than expected for Brazil, but such is the nature of a single elimination tournament. 45 minutes remain in regulation between Brazil and Japan, and we're glad to have you with us today on Ultrasport as we bring you our live commentary coverage. We'll be back very shortly. We're going to take another bit of a break, and then we will hope that the action is ready to begin once again. Stay tuned. You're listening to Ultrasport, the hottest network in either hemisphere. Back here on Ultrasport, still waiting for the action to resume between England and Japan. Meanwhile, the Netherlands and Morocco are getting set for a huge primetime clash tonight, as well as Germany and Paraguay set to get underway in about 2.5 hours from now. But what a scoreline we have here at the moment. 1-0 in favor of Japan against one of the footballing superpowers of the world. I've said it before, I've said it a million times before today, but I'm going to keep saying it. This will go down as the biggest upset in one of the biggest upsets, I should say, in the history of this sport, if things continue the way they are. There's 45 minutes of action to go, so there's obviously still, some opportunities that will pass by for Brazil to get themselves back into this one. But by and large, this is trouble. This is trouble. And Japan may not have been that motivated coming into this, certainly motivated, but maybe came into this with a bit of a, pessimistic mindset. I mean, you're taking on Brazil. Now, they've gotten a lucky shot, and they need to hold on for 45 more minutes. In turn, however, Brazil now have their backs against the wall. They're going to be fighting to do whatever it takes to keep their place in this World Cup. And it's going to make for a very, very exciting second half here as we come to you with our live coverage from the Ultrasport World Headquarters in Orlando, Florida. And we've also got another thing coming out here in just a few moments. Working on the finishing touches as we speak, because I've got a laptop on my desk as well. Our simulation of England versus DR Congo, which will be taking place on Wednesday, has now been published. So if you're interested in that, head over to our simulation as we continue to try and predict the World Cup in EAFC 26. I'll tell you, Japan have certainly gone against what we predicted, but so be it. What a shock this has been. Brazil now, we're going to look at Polymarket again. Brazil are now at a 4% chance to win the World Cup. And for all teams, that is. If we take a look at this match, they are currently at a 23% chance to win today on Polymarket. There's a 33% chance of a draw, which I assume might mean, they're going to extra time or something. Japan, 46%. And this one could very well go to extra time. We might be here for quite a while as Brazil try to keep things going, but we're going to see. As Fox comes back on the air, we've got to be getting close to the end of halftime, don't you say? Don't you think? According to our poll, Brazil have a 100% chance of winning today. 4 people have voted, and all of them have said Brazil. I don't know. The chat, the audience today might be proven wrong, but there's still 45 minutes of action to go. I might be hyping things up a bit too much for Japan, and everyone gets excited by an underdog story, especially when this could lead to one of the biggest upsets ever. But we're going to see. We'll just have to wait and see how the action plays out today as the Japanese side now make their way out in the tunnel, I should say, make their way towards the pitch. And we get set for half two. 45 minutes to hold on for this Japanese side. And the blue-clad fans in the stands are certainly riding high. This is a moment that this nation has never seen before in this sport. They have succeeded at the World Baseball Classic. They have hosted the Olympics. They have never come close to anything like this. Unbelievable. Again, don't count your chickens before they hatch, as we see Carlo Ancelotti, Alisson, and the rest of this Brazilian side walk out with, nonetheless, with the energy of a footballing establishment. However, you can see some of the players kind of hanging their heads low. There is a real sense of worry as we get a glimpse of these Japanese fans creating quite an atmosphere as they look to cheer on their team all the way to a victory here. The drums are beating. Wow. This is we can't play into the audio, but this is quite an atmosphere inside of NRG Stadium as we get set for halftime. Ancelotti? Or no, that's not Ancelotti. My apologies. All right, so 45 minutes of action to go. Is it going to be Japan? Is it going to be Brazil? 45 minutes at least. We could go to extras, extra time. Now we see Ancelotti giving a bit of a pep talk as Paqueta will come off to be replaced by Endrick. And we get set for the second half of action between Brazil and Japan in the round of 32 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Glad to have you with us here on Ultrasport. If you are enjoying our coverage so far, we invite you to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and send a super chat. We want to hear what you have to say about all of this. It is 1-0 for Japan over Brazil. One goal will be enough if they can hold on for the next 45 minutes and get one of the biggest upsets in all of football history. And I could be, again, counting the Japanese chickens before they hatch, especially as the Brazilians now advance towards the goal. Vini Jr. outside the box, sends it into the air, but right into the hands of Suzuki. Neymar still on the bench, still on the sidelines. Are they going to bring out the big guns today? That is the question. That would certainly be, an emergency Neymar substitution would be the remedy for this, perhaps. As Japan now look to get an insurance goal deep in Brazil's end. This is the first time Brazil has been trailing at halftime since the 2018, in the World Cup that is, since the 2018 quarterfinals. They were down 2-0 against Belgium in 2018. They ended up losing 2-1 in that match. Brazil have not advanced past the quarterfinals since... Give me one moment here. I should know this. They have not advanced past the quarterfinals since 2014. So, but they have not advanced past the quarterfinals outside of home since 2002. And in the semifinals, of course, they were humiliated, veritably humiliated, by Germany in that infamous 7-1 match. It's been 5 World Cups since Brazil took home a title. It is the longest drought in the history of the nation. And it's a drought that may continue here as Japan look to get an amazing upset. Still a lot of football to be played, and I acknowledge that, maybe I have been hyping this up a bit too much, as we're going to see a yellow card now. This one on Danilo, as he collided from behind with Maeda. Away we go once again. And I would imagine perhaps that Brazil may get more frenetic as time goes on, unless they're able to score a goal in the early going here. This doesn't sound like a team that is going to easily accept defeat. I think they're going to fight to the very end, even if Japan are up at the moment. But the Japanese, they just need to control things for the next 45 minutes, and we're already seeing that aggressiveness come in here. Another collision. This time, Tomiyasu and Konya go down. Neymar warming up on the sidelines. They have saved him. They have saved the best for last. We'll see if it pays off here today. We're still very early in the first half. Now, Brazil looking for a chance. It's going to be scooped up by Suzuki. Hendrick again has just been subbed on. 19 years old, playing for the national side. Doan. Kamada. Tomiyasu. Sano. 50 minutes gone. 1-0 for Japan over Brazil here in the round of 32 at this FIFA World Cup. Oh. Oh! No foul there. Nice interception to keep Vinicius from getting the ball, but he will down the line anyway. Doan trying to stop Vinicius here. Guimarães. Now Marquinhos. Casemiro. Magalhães. Towards the box, headed away. And out this will go for a Brazilian throw-in. Magalhães. Santos. Back to Magalhães now. Again, if you're just joining us, Japan 1, Brazil 0, the scoreline at the moment here in this round of 32 match at the World Cup. This one, oh! The closest chance Brazil has had so far, saved by Suzuki. Very close to going in there, and that is going to electrify Brazil. Brazilian fans cheering now as we see this again. Danilo, then the header, and Suzuki a bit troubled there as Vinicius now. Brazil trying to find an opening. Headed away by Doan, but now Brazil the Sharks smell blood in the water, so to speak. They have seen that Japan is penetrable here. But this is cleared away. Taken back quickly. Again, Brazil have reached the quarterfinals in the last 8 World Cups. The last 8. This would be an unprecedented upset if Japan are able to come away with the win here today. Vinny Jr. Now to Marquinhos. Now towards the goal. And this! Oh, so close! Unbelievable! Now Japan rushing to get it away from their end. There is no goal there apparently, but there is a metaphorical kick in the pants. Japan saw the danger. They rushed away. They got the ball out of their end, out of danger. That really woke them up. Unbelievable. There were like 3 defenders preventing it from going in. They succeeded where Suzuki could not get. Incredible save by Japan there. They are fighting with all their strength to pull off this unfathomable upset. But Brazil have found their weaknesses, it seems. They have gotten a couple of close chances in these last couple of minutes. And now we'll see if they can keep it going here. Vinny Jr. Brazil, of course, with the ball at the moment. Going to be taken by Doan. A throw-in now for Brazil. Santos. Now to Magalhães. Marquinhos. Looking to get into the box now. Vinny Jr. is going to chase it down. Into the air, header, and there is the tying goal. It is Cunha. Sorry, no. It is Casemiro. It is Casemiro to put Brazil back in this one. 1-1 here between Brazil and Japan, and although many saw the scoreline and thought of the upset, perhaps this was indeed inevitable. Casemiro looking extremely relieved as he, and I'm not making this up if you can't see this, has just hit the 6-7. Very relieved look on the face of Casemiro and his teammates. Beautifully placed header to put Brazil back in this one. Suzuki has made a lot of good saves today, but he couldn't stop that one, and it is 1-1. Vinny Jr. celebrating as well, and everyone getting into it, from fans to players to, I imagine, the coaching staff. Meanwhile, the fans on the Japanese side silenced. They were beating the drums as the teams came back out, but now with a 1-1 scoreline, Brazil have fought their way back into this one. Casemiro, with his 90th appearance for the Brazilian national side, has gotten his 10th goal, his 10th international goal here today, and what a way to reach that achievement by saving his country's bid to win the World Cup. However, there's still fire remaining on the Japanese side. Man down for Japan. It doesn't look like they're going to call a foul. Vinny Jr. now trying to weave through. Vinny Jr. moving up towards the box. Vinny Jr. takes the shot. Oh, so close. Over the crossbar it soars. As, I believe Cunha tried to follow up there. Vinny Jr., what an aggressive breakaway he had. Almost got it past Suzuki. Fell short. And it bounced off the post. It bounced off the post. Suzuki got the deflection as we see it in more depth here. It bounced off the post. And luck just not on the side of Vinny Jr. here today. 1-1 between Brazil and Japan here. Out it goes. It will be a throw-in for the Japanese side. Casemiro has put Brazil back into this one. But there is still a fighting spirit on the Japanese side. I see it when they make these aggressive moves towards the box. Allison scoops it up as we move into the 59th minute of action here between Brazil and Japan. No offside as we look at this question as to whether it was. Allison under pressure. Look at the pressure from Japan here. They are fighting with all their might. Because here's the thing. That first goal showed them that they can. Right? Because I imagine, you know, a lot of the fans at least, but maybe the players as well, a lot of them might have come into this one thinking there might not be much hope for us. Because this is Brazil we're talking about, right? This is one of the footballing superpowers, the side that has won the most World Cups in history. And now they take the early lead, they make it 1-0. And even though it's tied, Japan have seen that they can do it. That they can come back into this one. Brazil are ranked 6th in the world by FIFA. Japan are ranked 18th. It is 1-1 again as we approach 60 minutes here, as we enter the 60th minute. An hour of football gone here in Houston, as we may very well be going to extra time here between Brazil and Japan. What a match this has been. Again, Casemiro, the man to tie things up. Brazil and Japan both looking for that go-ahead second goal to move into the round of 16. Suzuki will clear it out. Big clear now. Now a chance. Allison is going to get out. Allison gets out, scoops it up. As that could have been dangerous for Brazil. Casemiro now, who again put Brazil in the lead here. And I can't imagine the celebration that unfolded in Rio at that Casemiro goal. I mentioned earlier, and I've kept bringing this up. Two nations are sitting down to watch a football match here today, and they're both going into it with the knowledge that for one of them, there isn't going to be any more football. Such is the nature of the knockout stage. One must remain. Both of these teams may very well be out by the time we get to the final. Brazil, I would say, might have a chance if we're asking between these two sides. They have the best chance, especially now as they threaten to go back, as they threaten to go into the lead. Suzuki makes the catch there, prevents a further Brazil score, at least for now. Sano, Japan with possession at the moment. Tomiyasu. Japan controlling the ball in their own end, trying to look for a vulnerability that they can exploit. A weakness in Brazil's defense. Ueda is going to try to set something up here. Goes right to Allison as he took the shot. Casemiro, as we see the replay, Casemiro did deflect the path a little bit. But in any case, Allison able to make the stop as Brazil now take possession and try to make something happen here. We could very well be going to extra time, or we could see something that breaks open this match once again. Neymar standing on the sidelines, undoubtedly going to be subbed in at some point in this all-important knockout game. Vinny Jr., Gabriel to Casemiro. Trying to find a way through to make a cross to have a chance. Now into the box, but not for long. Substitutions now. I believe there's going to be substitutions on each side. Martinelli replacing Cunha for Brazil. And he high-fives Ancelotti as he comes off the pitch. Suzuki and Sugawara coming down. Not the goalkeeper Suzuki, Janosuke Suzuki. Goalkeeper's name is Zion Suzuki. Plays for Parma in Italy, does the goalkeeper. As we cross the 66-minute mark here, it will be 1-1 between Brazil and Japan in the round of 32 of this FIFA World Cup. Sano broke open the scoring for Japan in the 29th minute. Then Casemiro got the equalizer for Brazil in the 56th. Now the Brazilian side looking to get into the lead here. The legacy side here. Brazil, one of the footballing superpowers of the world. But they may very well be going to extra time with Japan. Santos to Vinny Jr. "67 minutes gone, 6-7. Headed out of the box now. Magalhães will pick this up for Brazil. And now towards the box, looking for a chance, and now there's going to be no call on that. We'll take a look at this once again. Endrick, as the commentator on Fox said, went down rather theatrically. As we come to another hydration break here. 1-1 between Brazil and Japan, with about 20 minutes of football remaining. Again, not counting the hydration break. About 20 minutes to go here between Brazil and Japan. 22 technically, but hydration break will take about 2 minutes. Glad to have you with us here on Ultrasport. So again, just waiting for the hydration break to come to its conclusion here. We're approaching 70 minutes in this round of 32 match between Brazil and Japan. It is 1-1. Japan got the early lead. And now Brazil, in these last 20 minutes, are going to look for something to take the lead, pave their way to the round of 16 here. Again, the score, if you're just joining us, 1-1 between Brazil and Japan. We see the Japan team momentarily going through strategy here as this hydration break offers an opportunity for both sides to talk things over. And they're playing Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi at NRG Stadium. 1:33 in local time in Houston. NRG Stadium, the home of the Houston Texans of the NFL. And again, the winner of this will go ahead to the round of 16 to face either the Ivory Coast or Norway. So, 71 minutes in, we come to the restart. Japan have never won a knockout stage match in the World Cup. And they've got a formidable opponent today, Brazil, but they also have hope. That goal in the early going showed them what they can do. We'll see if they follow through or if Brazil move through to the round of 16, as many have predicted them to do. Brazil doing a good job of controlling the possession here. They've had 54% of it so far. As we'll see a stoppage now. Down went Ito there. Junior Ito, as opposed to Hiroki Ito of Bayern Munich. Ito. Now looking, Japan trying to find a way through here. Guimaraes. Vinny Jr. Now into the box. Couldn't find a teammate to get it to. But Brazil still controlling possession here. Santos. Now to Martinelli. Guimarães. Magalhães. Now to Vinicius Jr. Header is going to be on the wrong side of the net. Still 1-1. Corner kick now for Brazil. Into the box, and now it was Ito who got out in front, headed it away. Throw in here. Brazil in the middle of the pitch. Taniguchi. Sorry, not Taniguchi. What am I saying? Magalhães. Magalhães. Marquinhos now. About 15 minutes to go before extra time here between Brazil and Japan. What a match this has been. As we approach minute 75 here in the second game of the round of 32. Headed out of the box there. Marquinhos. Now to Martinelli. Vinicius Jr. Magalhães. Marquinhos. Again, if you are just joining us, it is 1-1. Brazil tied with Japan here in Houston. About 15 minutes to play here at NRG Stadium, the home of the Texans of the NFL. First game of the day, Germany versus Paraguay coming up as well, and then Netherlands versus Morocco tonight. As the round of 32 continues here in the World Cup. Now, looked like an opportunity at the start there, but Suzuki able to shut things down pretty quickly. Suzuki throws it to Sugawara. Casemiro now, who again scored that equalizer for Brazil. Vinny Jr. Again, the last time Brazil were eliminated before the quarterfinals was 1990 to Argentina. Headed away here now, a chance perhaps. Went a bit too high and a bit too much to the right. And Suzuki now will have a goal kick. And extra time seems more and more likely with every minute that passes by. Of course, we did see a stoppage time goal from Canada yesterday, so this one may end at 90 or before 90. But I think if somebody does score a goal in regulation, it's going to be Brazil. Japan have sort of lost the fire that they had in the early stages of this half, although now it's in Brazil's end. They would do well to move up and play a bit more aggressively. We'll see if they will. Danilo will have the throw-in. Trying to pick a spot. Casemiro immediately sends it straight up into the air. Into the box now. Allison is going to stay there. Let's pick it up. Now towards the Japanese goal. Man down. And we're going to see what the referee has to say about that. I think that's a bit of a reach. And so does the ref. There will be no foul called on that. Japan continue with the ball here. Suzuki. Now Casemiro takes it for Brazil. Hendrick, the 19-year-old, number 19 as well. Brazil playing aggressively now as Japan fight to try and get back possession. Maeda, a bit trapped. Suzuki had that last touch. And these Japan fans now fired up. We approach the 80th minute here. (1-1) between Brazil and Japan. Brazil had almost 70% of the possession here today. They have it at the moment. Vinny Jr. has 2 against him. Cleared away now a little bit. Not enough to keep the ball with Japan, however. Marquinhos. Vinny Jr. again. Looking for an opportunity. You got to give Japan credit for the defense they're putting up here. Into the air. Is it going to stay in? Yes, it is, but it goes out. Marquinhos to Magalhães. Into the air. Good header there to get it out of Japan's box. Gabriel Martinelli sends it to Santos. Vinny Jr. Marquinhos. Pace slowing a bit here for Brazil, whether because they can't find a way through or they're thinking about taking this through to extra time. That's going to, I believe, be a goal kick for Japan. Angelotti, we see now. Extra time on the horizon. Neymar has not come in yet. Perhaps they're saving him for extra time. Allison here. Magales. Now looking for a chance. Oh! Goes down. And there is a yellow card. Danilo went down, and the yellow card now shown to Chinosuke Suzuki. Oof. And now this is the chance that Brazil has been looking for. They need to play this well if they want to avoid extra time. About 6 minutes, give or take, in regulation. Here we go. Oh, sent over the crossbar, deflected. But I believe that will lead to a corner kick for Brazil. We will see this again. We will see this again. Yes, it is going to be a corner kick for the Brazilian side here. Corner. And now Vinny Jr. looking to set up a chance. Gets into the box. Kicked up into the air, and out that will go. Possession now to Japan. Suzuki will have the goal kick, and perhaps a chance now to make something happen in the late game. You never know. Suzuki. We'll clear this one away. One. Both sets of supporters trying to lead their team on to victory here. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Two nations are sitting down to watch a football match tonight. Only one of them is going to go through. Suzuki clears it away. Oh! Nice header there. Machino got up quite a ways. Now, close to the Brazilian goal. Machino to Sugawara. Machino again, into the box. Kicked away. But Japan's still fighting. However, Endrick looking to set something up for Brazil. Suzuki gets out, kicks it out, and there will be a throw-in for Brazil. And again, if we are tied after regulation, there will be two 15-minute periods of extra time. Two halves. Marquinhos. Danilo. Back to Marquinhos. Now Magales. Vinny Jr., Santos, Magales to Marquinhos. Oh. That's going to be a stoppage, I think. And now a free kick coming up for Brazil. Somewhat of a distance from the goal, but not that much of one. Over to the box. Suzuki got out. Vinny Jr. now. Vinny Jr. Another corner, it seems, for Brazil. As Vinicius Jr. fires up the crowd here. Corner kick coming up now as we're on the verge of extra time between Brazil and Japan. It's just going to be a pass now into the air. Out it goes. Pressure applied here, but Vinny Jr. gets the ball, weaves through into the box. Can he make it through Japan's defense here? Dancing around. Couldn't get past the pressure, but still fighting is Vinny Jr. He goes down on the ball. And now Brazilians stepping out of the bench. No foul. And this goes right into the hands of Suzuki. They're going to go all out in these last moments of regulation here. Japan now trying to make something happen. Sugawara got past one. Cross. No. Tanaka. Tanaka sends it out towards the center circle. Japan trying to think about this here. Into the box now. Oh. Throw in for Japan as we reach 90 minutes. And we will have 6 minutes of stoppage time added on for this one. 6 minutes. Again, if we are tied after regulation, there will be 2 15-minute halves of extra time. Now, looks like we've got a bit of a stoppage. I believe Casemiro is the one being checked over. Allison has come over as well. And this is a bit of a late game changer. Fabinho standing on the sidelines here. Again, 6 minutes of stoppage time added on. We are tied 1-1 between Brazil and Japan. Substitution now for Brazil. Fabinho coming on to replace Casemiro, who seems to have been taken injured. Casemiro, the man, of course, who made it 1-1. If not for him, it would be Japan cruising through to the round of 16. But looks like we are going to go to extra time, unless, of course, something big happens in these next few minutes of stoppage time. And how impressive, how incredible would that be? Casemiro stepping off the pitch, favoring his thigh, it seems. Don't know exactly what happened, but Casemiro being substituted for Fabinho. And now we're just waiting for him to step off the pitch. There's a lot of ritual and ceremony to this, I suppose. There goes Fabinho. And it looks like with 4 minutes remaining in stoppage time, we're ready to once again get underway. Brazil with 2 substitutions remaining. Japan with 1 here in regulation. And now a throw-in as we get underway once again. Japan will be looking to make something happen in these last few minutes of regulation. late drama here between Brazil and Japan. And that one could have been a chance, perhaps. Now, maybe for Brazil. Looking to set something up now. Oh, that hit the ad board. Corner kick coming now for Brazil, as they look to find a chance in these remaining 3 minutes. Brazil have had 6 corners today, Japan only 2. High in the air, Fabinho headed it away. And now Japan will get a goal kick. What a match this has been, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have had you with us so far. Looks like we are indeed going to extra time. First extra time match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, but I doubt it'll be the last, as Brazil now look to make something happen. Couple of minutes to go. Will we see a stoppage time goal, or will this go into extra time? Again, for those who are unfamiliar, extra time lasts for 30 minutes. 2 halves of 15 minutes there. About a minute and a half now in stoppage time. Marquinhos now looking to make something happen here. Battle for the ball. Into the box now to Guimarães. Guimarães now, shot taken, and in it goes! Martinelli is the man to put Brazil through. Absolutely unbelievable. It is 2-1. It is a stoppage time goal for Brazil. What an ending. What a match. Again, 2-1 will be the final score as Brazil get one through in stoppage time. Gabriel Martinelli. Right-footed shot from the center of the box. Bang. Well, there you have it. Brazil 2, Japan 1. And though Japan had a promising chance in the early going, they scored about 30 minutes in. But it is Martinelli who builds on that first goal scored by Casemiro to put Brazil through into the round of 16. Japan remain winless in knockout stage matches at the FIFA World Cup. There will be no extras today, ladies and gentlemen, not in this match at least. Brazil 2, Japan 1, and now we just wait for the final whistle in this 2026 FIFA World Cup. Incredible ending, and frustration on the face of Suzuki. But Gabriel Magalhães and Martinelli and all the rest will celebrate here as they move through. Japan had a chance, but heartbroken once again. Maeda is going to come off. We're going to have a late substitution. Ogawa to come on, and Santos to replace Guimarães. Danilo Santos. Celebration for Brazil beginning on the sidelines. Bruno Guimarães coming off. Danilo Santos replacing him. Brazilian flags being waved in the crowd. Suzuki will clear this away. We've got a bit of time left, I suppose. Now we wait for the ending. Out it goes. No final whistle just yet. Despite the roar from the crowd as that went out, I think they thought that was going to be it. Throw in here. Oh, bit of a collapse. And now the whistle is blown. So while Brazil have scored in stoppage time, we are still in stoppage time as the action continues here. Fox showing the replay of that goal from the ref cam. If you were just joining us, it is 2-1. Brazil have scored in stoppage time here against Japan in the round of 32 of the FIFA World Cup. And it looks like they are headed through to the round of 16. Just waiting for this final whistle. Man down for Brazil. And foul there by Machino. Heartbreak here for Japan. Jubilation for Brazil as we come to minute 100. We are not in extra time. We just had a lot of stoppage time. Stoppage time that has yielded one more goal to put Brazil through to the round of 16 without having to go through extra time here today. Allison clears it away. Now Suzuki is going to keep it from going out. No final whistle yet. Cleared away here by Suzuki. Trying to set up one more chance for Japan. Japan are trying to do what they can with this remaining time. The referee is still not blowing the whistle. Cleared away. Roar goes up from the crowd. And still no call for time. Despite the protests from the Brazilian sidelines here. Japan are going to have one more chance, but there is the final whistle. Absolutely incredible what we have seen here today in Houston, Texas. Japan went into the lead early against Brazil. Then Brazil equalized thanks to Casemiro, and in stoppage time, the Brazilian side moves through in an incredible, incredible round of 32 match. We thank you for tuning in today to our coverage of the round of 32 in the FIFA World Cup. Again, the final score, 2-1 for Brazil over Japan, as we say goodbye and good night. What a match this was. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed.